We are recording, so good afternoon, students from EMTA. It's nice to have you here, and I'm going to deliver some classes in connection with culture management and urban economics, and we will focus in some exercises in connection with data science, but the approach is very applied and very much focused towards the cultural economics and culture management. Okay, so we will use it as an instrument. I'm going to share a PowerPoint now. Please let me know if you can see it. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So my name is Beatrice Plaza. I'm professor of urban economics. This means that the focus is going to be in the setting of cities. Okay. We will analyze art and cultural infrastructures, but always in the framework of cities or territorial. We could apply this theory also for the rural areas. But the thing is that we will always approach the cultural infrastructures from a territorial perspective. Okay, this is important because it is totally different than the management of music, for instance, or musical instruments or festivals or whatever. Okay, so for us, the territory and the connection of art and culture infrastructures with the territories is key. Okay, and the exercises of data science will be applied to this framework. Okay, well, I have been delivering this for many years. I think more than 10 years, I must say. Please, you can ask me whenever you want. You can even, if you don't agree with something or whatever, you can make comments. There's no problem at all. So the question is, when art and culture infrastructures effective as economic engines for cities or for rural areas, for instance, but we will focus on cities. Which are the conditions that have to be fulfilled so as cultural infrastructures like a museum, for instance, becomes an economic engine? By economic engine, we understand that cultural infrastructure generates economic activity. Okay? And as a result of the economic activity, it is generating new employment. Okay? Obviously, we all love art for the sake of art, okay? But it is true that nowadays, some public bodies, especially the heads of the cities, they do use art and cultural infrastructures to boost the economy of the cities, okay? There are only a few but we do have this type of policies, public policies. Okay, so we are going to analyze two sets of conditions that are necessary to fulfill the art and culture as economic engines in the territory. First, the first set of conditions will be from the cultural event itself. Okay. And the second set of conditions will be in connection with the territory rather than the cultural event itself. So we will start with the first set of conditions. Here, let's start with some infrastructures. Okay, we want to analyze the global media visibility. Why do we analyze global visibility? Because this is one of the conditions that have to be fulfilled. Okay. When we set up a big cultural infrastructure, we like it or not, it has to be globally visible to generate economic activity. If it is not globally visible, it is very, the probability that it becomes an economic engine is very low. Okay, so global visibility is key. Global visibility is key. Here we have three infrastructures. We have the Elfi, the Philharmonie in Hamburg, in Germany. Then we have the Copenhagen Opera House here on the right-hand side. And we have the Oslo Opera House down there. We have three cultural infrastructures, okay? So one in Germany, one in Denmark, and one in Norway, okay? How can we get to know the amount of people that search in the internet about these cultural infrastructures? Anyone? Did one give me an idea? How can we get to know the volume of Google searches about these cultural infrastructures? Can I ask you this? Anyone? Is there any way through which I can get a clue of?
I think there must be some kind of Google statistics where this can be measured.
Yes, lovely, lovely. This is a good approach. Yes, lovely. And within Google, which would be the instrument? For instance, anyone?
Google data, you know.
No, not really. but but thank you for answering. Okay. We want to get to know the demand of information. Why the demand of information is key because normally people search in the internet before they go to the theater, for instance. So they search in the internet before they go to a tourist culture tourism destination, or they search in the internet in Google. They Google before they attend the Copenhagen Philharmonic Opera House, for instance. So somehow we know beforehand what is going to happen next week. Okay, we know beforehand what is happening next week. So the instrument would be Google Trends. Google Trends. Okay, Google Trends is the instrument. This is the instrument. Google Trends. Google Trends. Can I kindly ask you to open Google Trends? Can you open Google Trends? I'm going to open Google Trends.
Yes, I'm there.
Yes, so I'm going to open Google Trends. Google Trends and
excuse me.
Excuse
Would
me?
you please? Excuse me. I raised the hand, but you didn't notice. So, could you please put on the chat the link of because the spelling is not clear to.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I'm going to put it now. This here. Google Trends. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes. So now we will go to Google Trends and then we will Google for these three infrastructures, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The Copenhagen Opera House the Oslo Opera House and the Philharmonie, the Hamburg Philharmonie. And then we will download the data, build up the graph, and then we will calculate the first calculations. Okay. So let's go. Can you open Google Trends? Have you opened Google Trends?
Yes,
I think we all are there.
yeah. I opened it.
Okay. Can you Google this? So from worldwide, from the year 2004,
I'm sorry, what we need to search for?
you need to search
Hamburg...
for the 3 cases which were in the PowerPoint. Okay. I'm going to write it down.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
A minute. These 3: Copenhagen Opera House, Oslo Opera House, and El Philharmonie. It is the Philharmonic concert hall in Hamburg, Germany. Okay, these 3. From the year 2004, worldwide. Oops. Worldwide, okay? When you have finished, please let me know.
I'm sorry, I'm typing Oslo Opera House 2004. It doesn't show any result.
No, you don't have to type 2004. You have to select it. There is an option to select it in Google Trends, the 2004 on. Okay.
So just type Oslo Opera House?
Yes, and it is artificial intelligence, so the system gives you the option. You will find, once you put the correct keywords, you will find the option, okay?
But again, it didn't bring anything.
Well, it should be. Which language are you using?
English. Okay, now brought, yes, interest over time.
Yes.
Diagram. Is that the one that's supposed to come, or?
Yes, yes, yes. Have you Googled it?
Yes.
Do you have results?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, I have too.
You have? Okay. So I'm going to just show my screen. without the German case study, okay? Does the Copenhagen one? Wait a minute. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Wait a minute. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so the blue one is the Copenhagen Opera House. Okay, this is normalized data. Have you ever used Google Trends?
No.
Not really.
No. What is Google Trends? Google Trends is it's a service by Google, as you said very nicely, in which the system gives us data about the amount of interest people have on that topic. Okay, how much people Googles about this topic. So this is key because, for instance, in a culture tourist destination, the normal thing is that you Google your culture tourist destination before you are going to visit it. Okay, so there is a positive correlation between the number of visits to the culture tourist destination and the amount of Google. Okay, so Google Trends gives us a measure of how much people or how many people are looking for that specific topic. Here, this is the Copenhagen Opera House. It is in Spanish, I'm sorry. And this is Oslo Opera House here. And we have these two curves, okay? The red one applies to the Oslo Opera House and the blue one applies to the Copenhagen Opera House. Can you see it?
Yes.
Now I'm going to add the Philharmonic. What can you see now? I added the Elfi. Elfi is like a friendly way to call the Elbphilharmonie in Hamburg. What can you see now?
That everybody wanted to see the Elbphilharmonie in 2017.
Yeah, exactly. Very well done, Habub. Yes. We see that the interest in Elbphilharmonie it's much higher than the Oslo Opera House and the Copenhagen Opera House, okay? Different. So now we are going to download the data. How do we, can you reach this point? Have you already reached this point?
Yes, I think so, or at least me.
Have you all reached this point?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
it is important because I will deliver an exercise for tomorrow. So you need to follow me, okay? Is there anyone left behind?
Yes, I left behind. I was left behind.
Okay, so it is important that can you reach this point? It is
because searching through the searching panel, I only could find the Opera Oslo. The rest doesn't show anything.
This from 2000 here, you can see worldwide 2004. Here on the left-hand side, you choose worldwide, okay, first. Then you choose from 2004 on, and then you do the searching, okay? Copenhagen with H, Opera House, Oslo Opera, and then the Philharmonie, okay? Okay, so
oh, sorry. It looks a little bit different because I have all of those institutions, but for example, on the left, where is the media, it doesn't show anything for Oslo and Copenhagen.
no, you have to not media, but web searches.
Yes, I know, I have it, but it doesn't show something on the blue, for example, even though I have it.
Which one? This opera in Copenhagen, the blue one, you mean?
Yes, Copenhagen.
Well, now it doesn't because the Philharmony is so big that Copenhagen and Oslo are left behind.
I know, but
Okay.
still, on your screen, I can see some blue lines.
You should see some blue lines.
And I don't see some on my screen.
Maybe because you didn't select here. When you look for it, can you see that it gives you options?
Yes, it does.
Yes, this is an artificial intelligence system. So I select the Copenhagen Opera as a topic.
Ah, okay.
Or as a theater. Okay. You have different choices. So in my case, I am selecting as a theater. Okay.
Yes, that's working. Thank you.
That is the thing. And here it is the same. You have different options. Okay, so I'm selecting here the same. Okay.
Yes, right. Thanks.
So this is the concert hall. Okay, so now we have downloaded the data. Can you see my mouse here?
Yes.
This is now we are downloaded the data, okay?
Professor, I'm sorry. I sent a screenshot. I just would like to know, is that because I am connected with phone or I am not searching on a correct place?
Are you connected with the phone?
Yes.
Maybe that is the issue. Okay.
I think the issue is that you have set only Estonia, not the worldwide, and you have set the past day only. You have to set 2004 until today.
Yes.
You have to change like Estonia to worldwide.
Okay, I will try next time with computer. Sorry for interrupting.
No problem.
But it should be available to set it on the phone as well.
Okay.
I will try. So you can continue, please.
No problem, but if you choose from 2004 on worldwide, I think you would get to the point, okay? The key issue is that you choose worldwide in Google Trends and then, okay. So now I'm sharing with you the Excel, okay? I will share with you the Excel. Okay, I'm trying to share the Excel. Do you see my Excel?
Yes.
Okay. So I have data. My data comes, a minute.
But mine is different.
Yes, it is different because this is interesting. The system doesn't give you the total data. The system delivers normalized data of a sample, okay? So imagine that there are 100 million people or searching about this infrastructure. So the system calculates a maximum of 100 and then normalizes the data according to 100. Okay. This is the thing. So
Sorry, can I?
yes, of course.
Every number is in the first line for me.
Okay. This is because maybe you have an older version of Excel. Okay. In this case, what you should do, I have the last version of Excel, okay? The last version of Microsoft Office. So the system assigns the columns in an automatic way. If you don't have the last version, I recommend you save it in text txt, and then open it in txt. I'm going to save it in txt, okay? So I'm going to save as.
Can you please share that document, or it's not necessary for us?
I'm sharing the Excel. Can you see the Excel?
Yes,
I
yes,
see it
we
in
see the
part.
Excel, and you are trying to save the document as the TXT
Yes.
document.
I don't need to do it because my Excel system saves it automatically, okay? And puts it into columns. But there is one that has some problem, and this problem is quite common, okay? So the solution for this is to save it in text. So I'm going to save it in text, and then I'm going to close the system and open it as a text file, okay? I'm going to put it exercise 1. Exercise 1. Okay. Can you see my Excel?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to close it. I'm going to close it. Okay. And now from within, the first thing is to get into Excel. Can I kindly ask you, the one that had the problem? Can you open the Excel? Then once you are inside Excel, you open the file. This is the file. Can you see my TXT file? And voila, here I am. Okay.
Can we please have a minute, because I have like 5 different endings with TXT, and none of this looks like yours. So I need to
Okay.
try it.
Yes, but maybe I think that the best thing is to work in groups. Okay. The exercise, I will deliver you an exercise, and the best thing is that if you could work out the solution in a group. Can I ask you to do this, to work out the solution in a group?
Professor, I have a technical problem. Could you place this document or publish on Moodle, or I can access, or
Okay,
what?
so I will send you, once we finish this, I will send you this Excel.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a draft. I'm going to build up a graph. Can you see the graph?
Yes, we
Yes.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
the graph. It is the same. We are within the sheet, but now we are in the graph. This is monthly data. Monthly data. Okay? Monthly data. But what happens with monthly data? The problem with monthly data is that it is very seasonal. It is very seasonal. Okay? By seasonal means that, for instance, ice creams. When are the sales of ice creams higher? In which month would you say that the sales of ice creams is higher?
Depending on the hemisphere, probably in Europe it would be August.
Yes, lovely. August, so the maximum would be in August. And what about skiing, for instance? Which is the month in which people ski the most?
December, January.
January, maybe?
Maybe December.
Maybe December?
Lots
Maybe
of vacation.
Yes, so there are a lot of holidays there. There is plenty of snow, so people go skiing. So it is very seasonal. People don't ski in summertime, but people ski in wintertime. Okay, so if you Google for skiing, the maximum would be in December, for instance, and the minimum would be in August, for instance. Okay, so they are very seasonal data. Okay, imagine that we want to get rid of the seasonality because we want to get to know in the long term which is the trend of this data. Okay, in the long term we want to get to know the trend of this data. So we are going to transform. We are going to transform these three variables. And we are going to put here seasonally adjusted. Okay, so it's going to be SA, and SA. SA means seasonally adjusted. Okay. We are going to make some calculations because we want to get to know which is the trend, regardless the seasonal pattern of that variable. Okay. One easy way to calculate the seasonal to calculate the trend without the seasonality is to calculate the moving averages. Wait a minute. I'm going to put here moving averages. Moving averages is a way of calculating the trend of the data. So I'm going to calculate the moving average of this. So this would be the sum of this divided by 12. I'm going to explain it. What have we done? We have located the computer here on December 2004, okay? For Copenhagen. And we are going to calculate the average value of the 12 first months of that variable. Can you calculate, please, the average value of the first 12 months of that variable, if I may? And once you calculate it, please let me know.
Ma'am, the figures on my table are kind of different from what you have on your table.
Yes,
So-
it is different because you have a different data set, okay?
Okay,
But
so
here I have these 12 data here. Can you see the yellow part of it?
yes,
The
I can see
yellow
that.
is
Yeah.
from and the blue are the 12 months. Can you see the 12 months?
Yes, I can see
So
that.
we have the 12 months here and the data for the 12 months. And here
Yeah,
and
and
here
the
we
data
can-
for the 12 months is what I'm saying. It's different on
Yes.
my table.
Yes, I know it is different because the Google Trends calculates a sample of the total data. But then on relative terms, you will see that the benchmarking doesn't change. Okay, the benchmarking doesn't change. So, have you calculated this? The average of these 12 figures?
Yeah, the average for me is 12.5.
This okay, and the other ones?
The sum is 150, and that's what I have.
Okay. Maybe we had this problem before because maybe you didn't follow the artificial intelligence system, okay? But it doesn't matter. In the selection of the data, when you select for the cultural infrastructure, it is important that you select the what we are talking about, okay? It could be that you selected maybe something else, okay?
Okay, I'll check it again.
Yes. Okay, can you see I have calculated the moving average for this, the moving average for the 12 first months of Oslo, and the moving average the 12 first month of Elbphilharmonie in Hamburg, okay? And now I will drag it down. And I am going to build up a graph. It is very similar, actually. Okay.
Sorry, it's a kind of difficult because Professor, your Excel is in different language, so it would be better if it's in English.
Okay, I understand what you mean. Yes, but I think I have one thing. Do you normally use Excel? No,
Sometimes, not very.
not very often.
Yeah,
And not like
Okay.
this.
Not at all.
Not at all. It
I
could-
use Mac and there's numbers because
Okay.
Excel in Mac is for pay only.
This
Yeah, I also
Excel,
have not.
you can use Google Sheets. Okay. Okay, I will do it tomorrow with Google Sheets. Okay.
okay.
Okay. So the only thing I want to explain now, tomorrow I will repeat this with three case studies with Google Sheets. Okay, because it is the same. But the only thing I can see now is what can you see the graph?
Yes.
Yes, and this the
Yes.
gray one you can see that there are big differences between Copenhagen Opera House, Oslo, and the Hamburg. The Hamburg Philharmonic, it is very clear that it's they're very, very, very popular. Okay. So if we analyze the number of visitors, which of the three infrastructures would have bigger number of visitors? The Copenhagen Opera House, the Oslo Opera House, or the Elbphilharmonie in Hamburg?
Hamburg one.
Yes, the Hamburg one. Yes, lovely. So this is very useful because sometimes you don't have the number of visitors. You don't have the monthly number of visitors, but through Google, through Google Trends, you can get a clue of what is going on from the demand hand side. Okay, it gives you a clue of what is happening with the demand. Okay, so it is very clear that the Hamburg Philharmonic, its demand is very big. Its demand is very big. Okay. What is happening here? So we have here the inauguration. When was the Elfi, the Hamburg Philharmonic inaugurated? Can you see the graph? When was it inaugurated?
In 2017.
Yes, 2017, great. Because you have here the novelty effect, no? So there is a huge peak here connected with the inauguration of the cultural infrastructure, okay? So you can see that whenever you inaugurate art and culture infrastructure, you always have the novelty effect. But the key issue is to get to know at which level it stabilizes, okay? Because after the inauguration, we always have a huge drop in the number of visitors, okay? Up to one level. So we need to see at which level it stabilizes. What is happening here? Can you see my mouse?
Yes.
What is that?
It drops down.
Yes, lovely. It drops down.
Because of the pandemic, maybe.
Because of the pandemic. Great. Eh? Because of the pandemic. There's a huge drop here. There's a huge drop here because of the pandemic. After the pandemic, have they reached previous levels? This is the pandemic. So would you say that after the pandemic, the Elfi has recovered the previous levels?
Not yet, but it's in process to be recovered.
Yes, not yet, but it seems that it is recovering. Okay, so the exercise for tomorrow is the following. Please, can you select a cultural infrastructure for Estonia? Okay, a big one at the museum or whatever, which is the main museum in Estonia? If I may.
Kumu, Erm,
Kumu, for instance, the contemporary art, is it the contemporary art museum?
no, it's both.
It is
All.
both.
All
Okay.
of it.
All of it,
Yeah.
yes, lovely. So for tomorrow, I would like to get to know whether the Kumun, is it the Kumun? How much they declined with the pandemic? How much they declined with the pandemic? And whether they have recovered the previous level. through Google Trends. Okay. This is the first exercise. So for tomorrow, you need to search in Google Trends. One case study. It has to be a big cultural infrastructure in Estonia. Are you all from Estonia?
No.
You, where are you
No.
from, if I may?
From California. Chile.
Excuse me?
Germany.
Germany. So you can go to a case study from Germany, for instance.
I'm from Georgia.
Georgia, for instance, cultural infrastructure from Georgia, okay? But is Google the main search engine in Georgia?
Yeah.
So you can use Google Trends. The only condition is that it has to be the main search engine. So if Google is the main search engine in Georgia, you can use Google Trends. Okay. So you select a big yes.
Yeah, sorry, but I'm from China. How come to use it?
You can use Baidu. Baidu has a similar system. I think it is called Baidu Index, or I don't remember exactly, but Baidu has its own system. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
It is Baidu Analytics or something like this, and it is exactly the same, but in Chinese version. Okay. Exactly the same. If you don't manage to do it, you can use a European case study. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And then, so you need to see a big cultural infrastructure, what happened in the pandemic, so you can calculate in percentages which was the decline during the pandemic, and see whether they are recovering. Okay, and see whether they are recovering. This is the first exercise. The second exercise could be benchmarking. Imagine that you are the manager of a museum or a theater, and you want to benchmark your theater with your competitor. Okay, you want to get to know whether your competitors are doing well or not. So you need to benchmark. Okay, so maybe you are the manager of one museum, and you want to get to know whether the competitors, whether another museum is doing the same, better, or worse than you. So you need to benchmark. Okay, benchmark means compare. Okay, so benchmarking to see, and then can I kindly ask you to download the Excel? Download the Excel. Okay, download the Excel. And tomorrow I will ask you to open your exercise and share it with me. Okay. Can I ask you this for tomorrow?
Professor, can you please type in the chat what is necessary to download?
You need to choose a case study. Choose a cultural infrastructure. You choose a cultural infrastructure and search it in Google Trends, okay? The Estonian can use Estonian case study. A colleague from China can use Baidu, a Chinese case study, like, for instance, the old town in Beijing, or it has to be, the only condition is that it is easier choose a famous one, a well known one, okay? A museum that in Estonia, for instance, is very well known, or a museum that in China is very well known, or a cultural infrastructure in Georgia that there it is very well known, okay? But it has to be a big cultural infrastructure, a well-known one. And then you look in Google Trends and you need to know what happened in the pandemic, which was the decline in the pandemic, okay? This is the first exercise. Leah. And the second exercise, Leah, would be to benchmark it with a different case study. Okay. To benchmark it. Okay.
You
And
mentioned
then,
program,
yes.
downloading
Excuse me.
program.
Excuse me?
You mentioned about downloading program. Could you spell or write on the chat or the name of the program?
The program to download is Google Trends.
Yeah, the same that we did now.
The
Just
same one.
Google it in Google Trends.
Google Trends is to Google it in Google Trends. And then you can use Google Sheets. You can use Google Sheets as a software for calculations. For tomorrow, I'm going. Yes.
I just do Textel, some program with name Textel.
Okay.
Or
Okay. I think is that okay. And then the third exercise would be to seasonally adjust this series. Okay, to calculate the moving averages. The third exercise will be to calculate the moving averages. To calculate the moving averages, if I may. How did we? Can you see my Excel now?
Yes.
So here in the Excel, we first calculated the average of these 12 data, and then we dragged it down because we want to get to know which is the pattern of the data, okay? Which is the pattern of the data. Trends. Don't worry, because tomorrow you will see it clearer than today. This is class number 1, but in class number 2, things would be evolve smoother, okay? And in class number 3, even better. So at the beginning, I understand that the mental distance is bigger, but to the extent you get used to it, it becomes easier and easier, okay? Okay, we need to get used to Google Trends because Google Trends is the demand of information. Google Trends gives you an idea of what is happening with the demand of attendance, for instance, in a theater, or demand for attendance of a museum, or demand for attendance in a cultural tourist destination, for instance. Okay. I'm going to Google for the Guggenheim Museum Bilbao. Guggenheim, New York. I'm Bilbao. I'm going to share it now. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
The blue is the Guggenheim, New York. The blue line is the amount of people that are Googling Guggenheim, New York. And the red one is amount of people that is Googling for the Guggenheim Bilbao. In normalized terms, we are benchmarking. We are benchmarking means that we are comparing. We are comparing. We are comparing, okay? So would anyone want to analyze this graph?
So there is a one place, one museum, but in different places, like
Yes,
Google
this is
in different places.
Guggenheim is a museum. Yes, it is the headquarters are located in New York. New York is a big global city worldwide. Okay, whereas the Guggenheim Bilbao is located in a second-tier city. Bilbao is a second-tier city by the European standard. Okay, so we are comparing the Guggenheim New York with the Guggenheim Bilbao, and well done. It is the same museum. So, any comments about this?
Yeah, the interest about the Guggenheim Museum in New York is declining.
Perfect.
So,
well done.
Yeah, so now they are, I mean,
Jacob.
that they are searched, I mean, the same amount probably at this point.
Yes. So it is very clear that the interest in the Guggenheim New York is declining. So this is very bad news for them. Okay. Because
I'm sorry, but it shows the line that it goes up to the 100. Why it declining if not the opposite?
it is declining because it goes from 100 and at the end it is at 25. So, okay, the line starts at 100. It is normalized data. Normalized data means that the maximum is equal to 100. Okay, so it starts here at 100. It starts here at 100, but at the end it ends up with 18. So it is very clear that the attention, the number of people that Google for the Guggenheim New York is declining sharply, has declined sharply from the year 2004 on. Okay. And probably this means that the attendance also has diminished sharply, the attendance to the museum. Because there is a positive correlation between the Google Trends and the number of people that visit that cultural infrastructure. Okay. What about this peak here in connection with the Guggenheim Bilbao? What is this? This point stands for the 20th anniversary of the Guggenheim Bilbao Museum. Okay. In 2017, it was the 20th anniversary. So this is why all of a sudden the attention driven by the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao rises sharply, because there were a lot of additional events going on there. Okay, so Google Trends is very useful to get to know what is happening with the demand. This is the demand of information. Okay, and normally we know a lot about supply. Supply is that you build up a nice theater and you are supplying. Supply is production, okay? From the economic, sorry that I'm using economic language for art and culture, but supply means that the production, whereas demand is the consumption, okay? So this is giving us information about demand. That is consumption, okay? Okay. I'm going to write it here. Okay? Demand is attendance, for instance. Google Trends is a useful index to measure demand, for instance, attendance, okay? Audiences, for instance, which is the audience. Is the audience of this theater increasing or decreasing? Is the audience of this museum increasing or decreasing? How do you get to know whether the attendance or the audience of your cultural infrastructure is doing well? Well, you can go there and ask for the data, but that is time consuming and money consuming. So Google Trends could give you the information in some seconds in a very cheap way. Okay. Okay, well, so today we have finished the class. We will continue tomorrow. This is the starting point. So you'll see that you will get very used to this and you will become experts. I do recommend you use this afternoon. You try to make exercises with Google Trends, okay? Google Trends, yes.
To what extent can you say the this data from Google Trends is authentic and original? Like,
this is big data. Google Trends is big data of Google.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like for example, a local museum, how do they get their data, and how sure can we say they are actually capturing the right information?
Yes. If the selection is done properly, it is quite accurate. Okay.
All right.
You have to make sure that in that country, Google is the main search engine. It is very clear, for instance, in China, Google is not the main search engine. So it makes no sense to use Google Trends, okay? Because Google Trends is the big data of Google. It is the big data of Google. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much. This was the starting point here. And we will continue tomorrow at 9 o'clock Spanish time, which is 10 o'clock Estonian time. Is it correct?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So see you tomorrow then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I wish
See
you
you.
good. I
Bye.
wish you good luck with Google Trends. So see you tomorrow.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. See you tomorrow, Leah.